Ze zijn wel echt, die snorren hoor. Laat er geen misverstanden. Ik roep wel modellen, maar ze zitten er allemaal aan vast. We willen, dames en heren, dit seizoen ambassadeurs, afgezanten van verre, warme landen die hier in Den Haag zijn gestationeerd, naar ons programma uitnodigen om met ze te praten over hun werk, hun land en wat zij voor ons en wij voor hun kunnen betekenen. En ik denk dat het passend is om als eerste om de rij te laten openen door de enige vrouwelijke ambassadeur die momenteel in Den Haag zit, mevrouw Koshar, de ambassadrice van India. Mevrouw Koshar. Welcome, madam, in our program. It is our privilege to have you here, and we are honored. It's not, by the way, the first time that you are in our program, because 2 years ago, on the occasion of the premiere of the film about life and death of Gandhi, you were here. And irony of ironies, now, a few weeks after the death of your Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, you are again here.
Yes, that time it was a movie of martyrdom which happened nearly 30 years ago. This time it is another martyrdom of a Gandhi, which looks like a nightmare but is unfortunately the reality.
Yes.
And we have to live with it.
Mrs. Indira Gandhi had the intention of coming to Holland. She said so much too. She accepted the invitation of our government.
That's right.
Do you expect that her successor, her son Rajiv, will also come?
Well, it's too early to tell. I'm sure Mr. Gandhi would like to come. But this is between governments and it's a little too early.
For an ambassador to say anything. I understand that.
Exactly.
Now, there are critics who say, look, a dynasty is ruling India now. First there was Mr. Nehru, father of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Then Indira herself, and now her son Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister of a country of, 700 million people, who boasts that they are the largest democracy in the world. How come one family rules your country?
Well,
that is the criticism.
We are the largest democracy, and after all, in the world, there should be different types of democracies. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Westminster type or the American type. Our democracy has chosen leaders by elections which have taken place regularly. Now, it's wrong to say that it is in a way dynastic, because Panditji didn't choose Mrs. Gandhi to succeed him. As you know, she was selected by the Congress party after the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri. Yes. Had Lal Bahadur Shastri lived, maybe Mrs. Gandhi would never have become a Prime Minister. Yes. And again, it's not Mrs. Gandhi who has made Rajiv the Prime Minister. It's the party which chose and selected, and the people have accepted him as the leader. And as you know, we are going to have elections soon, which will tell, how much India is a democracy.
Now, about the ambassadorship. Once upon a time, we had a Dutch ambassador, and I think it was in Washington. I'm not sure there, but it was a long time ago, long before the Bertenses came, who said, look, I'm not here, he said very snottily, to sell bulbs. Now, have times changed?
Oh yes, times have changed. Of course, the outside world thinks that an ambassador's life is all glamour and cocktail parties, but it is a lot of hard work. And I'm afraid the ambassadors have to get into the marketplace in these very competitive times. I mean, it of course depends which country you are in. Either you are trying to sell your products or you are trying to buy products. Sometimes in Holland I feel that it's worth buying some of your very excellent technology in certain fields. But also in Holland I feel, for example, that all of you have very superior and sophisticated tastes in most things, but you drink such awful tea. I would like to sell some of our very superior brand of Indian tea.
Who said anything about bulbs? Tea, of course.
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't discovered the sex appeal of Indian tea.
Again?
Yes. Excellent subtle flavor of some of our superior blends.
The Indian Tea Party. So that is the equivalent of our bulbs, yes.
But that apart, it's not just the marketplace. And, what makes an ambassador's job so interesting is the totality of the relations that you sort of watch over between the two countries. I mean, it's everything. It's political, it's economic, it's cultural, it's financial, it's public relations. I mean, one of the hardest things for an Indian ambassador in Europe is often to get over these stereotypes about India, which are always there in the public mind, and to convince the media that India is many ways very different, very complex,
what are the stereotypes?
Very difficult to understand. Yeah. Oh, well, the usual snake charmers and pipes and dynasties,
holy cows,
as you mentioned. Holy cows. We all have our holy cows, don't we?
Yes, yeah. You are, by the way, I skipped that one. You are, by the way, a career diplomat.
Yes.
Yes. Your husband is also a diplomat, or was a diplomat?
Yes, my husband was a civil servant before he retired, and he's here with me. And I think it's very enlightened of him to be a spouse and be with me, and I often turn to him for advice on matters in which he is an expert.
The interdependency, a word introduced by predecessor of Mrs. Schoo, yes. Jan de Koning, the minister. There's a lot of things going on between India and the Netherlands, I think. Is, in your opinion, development aid, our development aid, really helping in the development of your country?
Well, as you correctly say, there are lots of things going on between the Netherlands and India, including development aid. It's one part of it. And it depends on which end you look at the development aid from. Because a gift is never little. And though India receives the highest volume of development aid from the Netherlands in terms of quantum, not in terms of capita, when you look at it from the other end of the scale, in India, it is, of course, a very small sliver of the development aid we receive from all over the world, and even a further small sliver of the amount of money we put into our development. Just a few figures. For example, I think we invest something like 70 billion rupees in our development each year, definitely between 82 and 84, out of which the total foreign aid we received from the World Bank, from IMF, from UK, Netherlands, EEC, everywhere, it was only 6.5% of that amount. And the Dutch share is 0.25%. I'm not belittling Dutch aid because it's very useful. It is given very graciously without any strings attached. It is given for social upliftment of the people, and we are very appreciative even of this 0.23%.
I see. So what you in fact are saying is that 70 billion guilders, or rupees, guilders I think it is, guilders of the money India puts into the development of its country, less than 0.25% comes from Holland.
About that, yes. Yeah. Still, we are very grateful. Yeah. Don't ever, you never look a gift horse in the mouth, do you?
No. Is it not, in a way, perhaps a bit too personal? And again, don't be too diplomatic. Is it not a bit, let's say, shameful that you have to say things like the gift horses, or don't look it in the mouth? And
no, not at all.
You are of a country of a rich tradition, of a culture long before we even were wearing bearskins here. And here you are you are.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say so because, as you say, it is interdependence and the world is fast growing into a situation of interdependence. So even if you call it in terms of sort of development aid, you don't even call it development aid anymore, you call it development cooperation. And I don't see why we should feel sort of apologetic or think it infradig, because it's there should be graciousness in receiving as much as there is graciousness in giving. I mean, I believe that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.